right, so continuing, today what we're looking at is volume. So volume is something, how much a 3D shape will hold. So how much a bottle would hold, how much a box would hold inside it. So what you can see, again, I've done steps, so determine the shape. Okay, and we're only going to be looking at two shapes, a cylinder type shape or a rectangular prism, which could include a cube. I notice it says cube here, but sometimes we're looking at actual rectangular prisms, and a cube's just a special one. And then determine the volume. Now this time what happens when we're looking at units, it's going to be units, and it's going to be cubed this time. Notice we started with nothing, just units, then area was squared, now volume is going to be cubed. So let's take a quick look. Okay, so it appears that my first two questions are cylinders. So if I go up to the top again and I look here, my volume for a cylinder is pi r squared h. Okay, remember pi is 3.14, so I'm going to just write my formula down. So volume equals pi r squared h. Now when they talk about r squared, that means the number multiplied by itself. So if we look here, it's going to be pi, my radius, oh no, did you see what they did to us? They gave us the distance from one side all the way to the other. So they gave me the diameter. So my radius is going to equal 12 divided by 2. So it's 6. Okay, so just be careful of that. They like to do that to us all the time. So that's 6 squared. So in other words, that's the same as 6 times 6. Now if you're using a calculator, it will have a squared button on it if you know how to use it. You can always ask your teacher if you don't and want to use it. And then my height I can see is 15. So now it's a matter of taking out my calculator and doing the calculation. And when I do that calculation, I end up with 1,695.6, and it's inches, and it's cubed. Okay, now let's look at the second cylinder. Okay, it's still a cylinder, but notice they turned it on its side. And that's all right if it wants to do that. Fair enough. So volume is pi r squared h. So again, we have 3.14 radius. Good, they only gave us the radius. They didn't give us the diameter. So we can actually put 6 here. Oh, do you notice that both of those had the same radius? Squared, and then it's 18. It says high, but you can see in our diagram it's actually really long, but it means the same thing if I took that picture and turned it, rotated, it would still work. So again, now it's a matter of taking our calculator and calculating. And if you notice, I have put the answer down there for us. Now, notice I put 0.72, and the question before that I put 0.6. Depending on the person, in most cases we might round it. So in that case, I could round it, the 4 up to a 5. But again, ask your teacher how she would prefer or he would prefer you to round things. Okay, so let's do 2 more different kinds, not cylinders this time. Now in this case, you can see that we're looking at boxes, and boxes, fancy math term, are called rectangular prisms. And if you notice, it says length times width times height. So we're multiplying 3 numbers together. So hopefully they gave us all 3 numbers. So volume here is length times width times height. Well, you can see I have 4. I'm starting down here, 4. Then I have 2, and then I'm going to multiply it by 3. 4 times 2 times 3, and when we do that, we end up with 24 feet, and it is cubed, so cubic feet if you want the fancy word. Okay, that was the easy one. I kind of liked it better than the cylinders. So let's try the next one. Okay, again, it's a box. It's a taller box and more skinny, but the volume for that would be length times width times height. So again, I'm starting at the bottom. I have 5 times 4 times 10. So when I do this one, it's a grand total of 200 centimeters cubed. Okay, so there's a few examples to help you with your work now. Have fun.